In 1959, two men arrived in Brazil who had left behind their homeland, their culture, and their language, launching themselves into the unknown, moved by one unwavering certainty: Christ is risen, and he must be proclaimed to the ends of the earth. This is the story of the Congregation of the Resurrection in Brazil, a story of faith, courage, and hope. Fathers Leo and Joseph, Polish resurrectionists, arrived in Brazil on March 9, 1959.
Welcomed by the Diocese of Barra do Piraí and Volta Redonda, in the state of the Rio de Janeiro.
Without knowing the language and with very limited resources, they began their mission humbly.
Celebrating their first Mass in the city of Resende. Later that same year, they founded the parish of Santa Cecilia, followed by the parish of St. Joseph in Itatiaia.
The mission field was vast, and the workers were few, but they pressed on, tirelessly traveling by bicycle, on horseback, or on foot, visiting chapels, forming communities, and celebrating the living presence of the risen Christ among the poor and humble. Over the years, more missionaries began to arrive, willing to dedicate their lives to a great cause: evangelization, bringing renewal to Brazilian society through the proclamation that Christ is risen. And this is our hope. In the 1970s, the first priests arrived in the state of São Paulo. The congregation began to administer the parish of Our Lady of the Poor
in Butantã. Later, we arrived in Franco da Rocha, at the parish of the Immaculate Conception.
In the 1980s, we reached the capital
of Paraná, Curitiba,
through the life and evangelization of Father Julio Blaszewski. In Curitiba, the Resurrectionist mission found its heart, the seminary. With much effort, the help of parishioners, the Aveniate organization, and the Resurrectionist provinces of Ontario, Kentucky, and the United States, the construction became a reality. In 1988, the Resurrectionist Seminary was inaugurated, and since then, it has become the center of formation and the living symbol of the mission in Brazil. The Resurrectionist Seminary became the true beating heart of the mission in Brazil. It is there that young men from various regions of the country discern their vocation, are accompanied, formed, and sent forth to proclaim the joy of the resurrection. There, community life, studies, spirituality, and mission intertwine, forging new men committed to the resurrectionist charism of hope and renewal. In recent years, the seed sown by the first missionaries continues to bear fruit. New vocations arise, and young people decide to dedicate their lives to the risen Christ. The mission remains alive, relevant, and necessary. Each new seminarian, brother, or novice is a sign that the resurrection is not just a past event, but a reality that continues to transform lives and communities. Today, more than 6 decades later, the Resurrectionist mission in Brazil is a living legacy. Evangelized communities, awakened vocations, transformed lives. The Paschal cry continues to echo: Christ is risen, and with him, hope, fraternity, and missionary commitment are reborn. From humble beginnings in the countryside of
Rio de Janeiro to major cities like São Paulo and Curitiba,
the Congregation of the Resurrection remains faithful to its vocation, to be a sign of Christ's victory over sin and death, proclaiming to the world that Christ is truly risen. Alleluia.
If the stars